In well-established tropical gardens like this exotic dell here, many of the plants will have been in for a number of years and become firmly rooted into the area. Things like this tree fern and also the big bamboos at the back. So moving those would entail digging out with perhaps mechanical diggers to remove the plants, and it would change the character of this so much that the new owners might object. So try and limit yourself to just taking smaller plants and also divisions from some of the larger plants, and make sure that that goes into your contract. Seedling tree ferns and young plants, and perhaps all ferns really, can be dug up quite simply with a spade. They won't have rooted into the surrounding ground too much. And what I like to do is pop them into a big trug bucket like this one, because it's got handles on both sides that makes it easier to carry. And so just put some compost in the base. Can be ordinary multi-purpose or your homemade garden compost. It's only going to be in there temporarily, and pack that compost really carefully around the roots to help keep the moisture in. Doesn't need to be like you were potting it up permanently, but just for transportation purposes. Give it a quick slosh of water, because tree ferns do dry out very, very quickly. Particularly important is that central section there where the moisture is, where the new fronds come from. And then what I also do is tie up the fronds together, and this stops them evaporating too much moisture. So just tie those loosely together. It also helps to protect the fronds so that they don't get broken or damaged in transit. And then wrap around with a piece of polythene just to protect and keep the humidity in, and to stop those fronds losing too much moisture. Because if they're standing around for any length of time while you're orchestrating all the manoeuvres for your indoor boxes during the move, you won't have time to get out and re-water them. So they might stand around for a couple of hours. Tie loosely around with a bit of string at the bottom, bit of string at the top. And as I say, that will keep the humidity in around the top of the plant, stop it drying out. Lots of clump forming exotics like this hardy ginger lily and the banana and cannas, they can be lifted, and you can take divisions from the sides of the clumps and leave the original clump in place. That means you get to keep a piece, and you leave everything for the new owners as well. So this ginger lily, just simply find where the rhizome is and dig down, or you could use a fork and lever up underneath the rhizome. The rhizomes grow just underneath the surface, so don't chop too vigorously through them. Just lift up a piece, detach it from the main clump, and you'll see that you've got that big chunk of rhizome that's going to go on and grow. And what I do is put it in a bag of compost to be able to transport it to its new home, just to keep the roots nice and moist. I'm going to pop this canna division that I've taken off a canna plant and pop that in the bag as well. Shuffle the compost around so that it covers the roots. And the good thing about the ginger lily is all this long tall stem, it's had its flower, so it's now going over. So we can cut that back by about half its length quite successfully, discard that piece, and there's a bag full of plants to take to the new garden.